Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food, it's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. On today's episode, we're continuing our conversation about being an efficient and effective plant eater, or about maximizing nutrition per bite of your favorite vegetables, fruits, beans, potatoes, carrots, beets, tomatoes. So you don't just pour money into all this amazing produce that you buy organic, local and all that stuff. You don't just spend money on that, but you actually get the most nutrition from your spendings. So we're learning, yesterday we learned about carrots, about potatoes, about garlics and onions, about beets, about beans and peas. So we learned how to store them, buy them, cook them to get maximum nutrition out of them. And today we are talking about the sweet stuff. Blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, papayas, pineapples, guavas, peaches, all this fruit that we love. Especially, now it's this season that when we get most of the fruits. But it's important to make sure that you know how to choose them and how to store them and how to eat them, not just for maximum nutrition and not to waste your money, but also for maximum flavor. Because guess what, guys, when it comes to fruits, when it comes to vegetables, when it comes to most food, actually, more nutrition means more flavor, more natural flavor that you're gonna enjoy. That's why, for example, when you take tomatoes, if your tomatoes taste like nothing, guess what, guys? They have close to nothing when it comes to nutrition. And when you get the juiciest, sweetest, tastiest tomatoes, yeah, they might have a little bit more sugar than the ones without any kind of taste, but they will also have maximum nutrition. And that maximum nutrition will enhance your health, will give you more energy, will give you more joy from your life. So let's dig in and start learning about our sweet favorites, how to store them, buy them, choose them, eat them to get maximum nutrition for your money. And we are starting with apples, all favorite apple that most of us are familiar with. An apple a day keeps a doctor away. The trick is to choose the right apple. By the way, guys, I'm doing some reading from my article on Food Matters, and I'm going to link the second part of the article that covers fruits and berries in the show notes. So check it out, and check out yesterday's episode where we covered our vegetables, our roots, our beans, peas, our greens. So an apple. Usually, apples with the most red color have more nutrients. The color comes from the exposure to the sun that gives apples more nutrients and antioxidants. Choose apples with red color everywhere when it's possible. Some green and yellow varieties like Granny Smiths are also very nutritious. The skin has the most phytonutrients and antioxidants. Eat the skin and go organic to limit exposure to pesticides and double health benefits of apples. Apples are better stored in the crisper or the coldest drawer of your fridge. Summer apples are well stored for a week or two, so those smaller ones. Fall apples can be stored for a couple of months. Buy apples as you need them. Warehouses and stores do a better job at keeping your apples fresh. Blackberries and blueberries are the champions. These berries are among the most nutritious foods on the planet. Berries have 4 times more antioxidants than majority of fruits and 10 times more than most vegetables. That's what I call efficient eating. Eat your berries and get lots and lots of nutrients. Blue and blackberries have a low glycemic load and rich in fiber, and blueberries and blackberries are probably one of the most nutritious berries out there. They have the potential to slow down aging, make you smarter, fight cancer, and reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. Frozen berries are as good as nutritious as fresh ones, but unfreezing them, however, destroys most nutrients unless you eat them fast. Dried berries might seem like a good choice when fresh ones are not available, but remember that dried berries lose up to 80% of their antioxidant value. Berries spoil fast, so when you buy them, eat them within a few days, store them in the fridge. If you plan to store berries for longer, freeze them. To freeze your berries, spread them in a single layer on a cookie sheet, freeze them, and then put them in the bags. Cooking berries can increase their phytonutrient content. Most commercially sold strawberries, we all love our strawberries, are picked 3/4 ripe and they never ripe further. That's why they taste weird and like nothing. So unless, your strawberries and berries in general, unless your fresh berries are picked from the farm, field picked, don't waste your money because they're going to taste like nothing and they're not going to have a lot of nutrition. They're just really not going to have a lot of anything and you're just going to be wasting your money. So get them fresh from the farm or get them frozen and eat them as fast as possible. Eat your cranberries. Cranberries, guys, are also one of the richest in antioxidants and all kinds of nutrients berries, and they do not have a lot of sugar at all. And when you buy them dried, like for example, maybe in a bar, fruit and nut bar, or just by themselves, sells dried cranberries, they lose just about 20% compared to 80% in other berries of their antioxidant value. So dried cranberries are okay. Stoned fruits, guys, peaches, plums, apricots, and cherries. Buy ripe or nearly ripe stoned fruits. If stoned fruits were exposed to cold temperatures during transportation or storage, they will suffer from chilling injury and will never ripen after. And how you can recognize that chilling injury thing? The ripe fruits will have creamy yellow or white background, no green color. They should have a slight give when they're ripe. Apricots are 3 to 8 times more nutritious than peaches and nectarines. So the smaller, the better when it comes to apricots. It is believed that the dried apricots not treated with sulfur are better for us, but there are no studies proving them. And so actually treating apricots or any dried fruits with sulfur tend to preserve antioxidants much, much better. So go for bright orange apricots, dried apricots. Cherries are best when they are freshly picked. Judge by the stems. Cherries should have bright green stems. Cherries, by the way, guys, are like proven to be really, really great for anti-inflammatory properties, and you can get good cherry extracts that also gonna reduce by a lot. Like for me, my muscle pain after workouts disappear when I have cherries or cherry extract, but only tart cherries. There is a huge difference between different kinds, varieties of cherries. But yeah, cherries for inflammation, either eat tart cherries that are really, really sour and tart, or get them in a supplement from companies like Sports Research that make good supplement. Plums. The darker, the more nutritious. Summer plums are more nutritious and sweeter than earlier ones. Dried plums, prunes, are among the most nutritious foods at a supermarket. Grapes and raisins. Black, purple, and red grapes are best for your health. Green varieties have the least nutrients and the most sugar. Raisins. Golden raisins have more nutrients than black ones, unless your raisins are currants, and this is a specific variety of raisins, and those are the most nutritious ones, and they are black in color. Citrus fruits. Oranges. The brighter and deeper the orange color is, the more nutritious the oranges are, and the bigger, the more nutrition. Don't forget to eat all the fiber, all the sections, all the, those membranes between sections. They have a lot of nutrition and the most fiber. When it comes to color, guys, blood oranges, red blood oranges are the most nutritious, and that also goes for grapefruits. Grapefruits all reduce cholesterol levels, but only the red ones reduce triglyceride levels. Orange juice. I'm not a fan of any kind of fruit juices. Eat your fruits whole, but if you do drink any kind of juices, only fresh squeeze. Like squeeze it and drink it. That is the only way for the juice. No matter how you squeeze them, if you don't drink it right away, you're just going to be drinking sugar. Lemons, limes, pick them ripe for maximum nutrition. Lemons should be bright yellow, no green color, and when you get ripe and mature limes, they should also start getting a little bit yellow. Did you know, by the way, that adding a squeeze of lemon into your green tea before brewing it increases the antioxidant content a lot? So get your tea leaves, squeeze some lemon on it, and then brew that too, and you're going to increase phytonutrient content. Store your citrus fruits properly for maximum vitamin C and antioxidants. Store them in the fridge without plastic bags, as bags promote mold. Exotic fruits. Go bananas. The sweeter the bananas, the less nutrients and more sugar they have. Small bananas or ladyfingers bananas have the most nutrients. Pineapples. The sweetest and more golden varieties of pineapples have the most vitamin C and beta-carotene. Choose the freshest pineapples with the dark green leaves on the crown with no signs of browning or fading. Papayas. Papayas have a low glycemic load, but only fresh ones, guys. When you dry papayas, that's like pure sugar. Natural sugar, but still pure sugar. So fresh papayas have low glycemic load and excellent source of vitamin C. Red fleshed papayas, more nutritious. If your papaya is slightly green, you can finish the ripening process on your kitchen counter. Just leave it out there. When it's ripe, put it in your fridge. Mangoes. Mangoes have 5 times more vitamin C than oranges, more fiber and low glycemic load, but again, only the fresh ones. Mangoes with dark orange flesh will give you more nutrients. Guava. Guava is a tropical nutrition champion among other tropical delights. Guava is more nutritious than papayas, pineapples, bananas, or mangoes. Red flesh guavas are the most nutritious. And guys, that reminds me of my times in Cuba, where I spent most of my days eating guavas almost entirely. They are green outside and pink and red inside, and they taste like nothing I can really describe. Some mix of strawberry and mango flavor. They're just amazing. If you're ever in Cuba or in that region during the guava season, really get a lot of it. They have more vitamin C than oranges, pineapples, papayas, mangoes, and they have a lot of fiber, and they're really low glycemic, and again, they're really, really delicious. Melons, light in flavor, calories, and nutrition. So melons are great for hydration, all kinds of melons, but when it comes to nutrition, they do not have a lot to offer. Red watermelons are a great source of lycopene, the one that also we can find in our tomatoes. Seedless watermelons have more nutrients. How to choose a tasty watermelon? Soon it's going to be watermelon season. The skin of a tasty, ripe one loses its gloss, and it has a ground spot that is yellow. When you thump it, the sound should be deep. The deeper the color of the flesh of a melon, the more nutrients you get, and the deeper that sound when you knock on it, the more nutrition it usually has. Melons come in contact with a lot of bacteria when they're on the ground, so make sure to scrub them with some soft, clean brush under running water when you get them. Store your melons and watermelons at room temperature to increase antioxidant content. So that's about it about our fruits, guys. And as you can see, for different fruits, it's different how you store them, how you pick the ripe ones, smaller or bigger. Like for example, for oranges, the bigger you get them, the more nutrition you usually get. And for bananas, for example, the smaller they are, the more nutrition you usually get. And my final advice, guys, is no matter what kind of foods you eat, if you want to maximize the nutrition that you get from each bite of your food, that you need to chew your food well. Your digestion, if you don't know that yet, starts in your mouth. When you chew your food, first of all, there are digestive enzymes that start working on your food already in your mouth. Then you start mechanical digestion, basically breaking down food into smaller pieces, and a lot of that mechanical digestion your body will not be able to actually do. So for example, you might also not know that, I think this is like really cool stuff. If you swallow a grape, fresh grape, round, if you want to experiment, just pick a small one so it's easier to swallow. Swallow a grape intact without chewing it, and it's going to go through your digestive system just like that. So basically it's going to come out as a grape, and that just shows you that your body cannot digest a lot of stuff unless you actually chew it and break it down mechanically. So make sure to chew well. The better you chew, the more nutrition you're gonna get. But when it comes, for example, to nuts, guys, you also might not know that. It's kind of also a cool hack. If you're trying to lose weight and you want to absorb the least amount of calories from your nuts, don't chew them that well, chew them enough but not too well, and that way your body will, that way nuts will go through your system undigested. The most percentage of nuts going to go through your system undigested. But yeah, to get maximum nutrition, chew well, enjoy and savor. And that also will help you to digest your food better and to help your gut bugs to digest your food. And it's going to put you into relax and digest mode instead of fight or flight, and that will also enhance your digestive powers and absorption of nutrition from all of your foods. So chew well and get back to these two episodes, yesterday's and today's episode, and get back to the articles that you're gonna find in the show notes. Check back. Make sure that you know how to buy your fruit and vegetables and garlics and onions, how to buy them, how to store them, how to cook them, how to eat them, again, to maximize nutrition on every dollar you spend on your plant foods. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I love you all. I wish you a lot of fun choosing and eating your plant foods. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.